One, two, three.
Hello, everyone. This is Kyle Galaz with Poor2Pro Car Sales Training Podcast. Become a sales titan. We are in season 10. This is episode 6. We're continuing the sales manager training. I hope you guys enjoyed that bonus episode. I'll have another bonus episode for you sales titans out there, for salespeople out there. But season 10 is focusing on sales managers. Get as much as you can out of this because one day you will be a sales manager. One day you will be a finance manager. One day you will be a GSM. GM, owner, just keep going forward, keep training, and you'll keep getting better and moving the needle to the next level of income, of success, of everything. So hope you're enjoying the episodes. Season 10, episode 6. Stop coaching from the sidelines. I have my notes over here I'll be looking at. Stop coaching from the sidelines. It is so important as managers to be involved in the deal where your salespeople can witness your skills, witness your abilities, and we can't just coach from the desk. We can't just tell, and hope. Because the more you tell and not show, then you're not going to ever have a sales team that rises up to the next level. They will always be amateurs. They will always be making, you know, average sales, struggling to get to 10, struggling to get to 8, struggling to get to 12 because they don't know how to use the tools you've given them. They may know what you've told them, but that's why they call it show and tell in school, because you show, then you tell. As sales managers, we have to show. Then we can tell our salesperson how you did it, how this is how I close them, this is why I use this verbiage. But showing is so crucially important. So couple questions for you sales managers. Can you coach in real time? I've known sales managers and closers that struggle with this. They can't close while there's an audience. They're great with closing when there's a customer in front of them, but as soon as you throw in an audience, another salesperson, or it's in the showroom scenario where there's multiple people listening, maybe another set of customers, maybe another salesperson, you shut down. Your skills just aren't there, and so you have to have this closed office close with these customers, and your salesman doesn't get to watch anything. Yeah, bring them to my office or the sales desk, and no one gets to learn anything, or whatever your scenario is. I do know managers that struggle with an audience. So can you close in real time, not just with the customer, but in front of your sales team? Because the best coaches out there can show them. The best coaches can say, hey, listen, I'm going to go out there and close your deal. Keep your mouth shut. I don't need any input. If I needed your input, you would have already closed the deal. At this point, I just want you to listen and take mental notes on how I close your customer and how I overcome these objections. And then we get in front of that customer in real time and we close that customer in front of our salesperson. So can you coach in real time? Can you close in real time? And they're two separate things. Coaching in real time could be, hey, follow me. I want you to listen. Closing in real time is you're not in interacting with the salesperson anymore. You're interacting with the customer and you're breaking down the deal with the customer and actually overcoming objections and closing. It's such an important thing to do for your sales staff. If you want to be the leader that I know you want to be, because the fact that you're listening to this very episode tells me you want to be that leader that's at the next level and separates yourself from the other sales managers and makes yourself so valuable that the dealership couldn't seem to run without you. If you want to get to that level, then you have to rise above the standard and get out there and talk with customers in real time. Coach in real time, close in real time. And then after you close that deal, or whether you do or don't, get with that salesperson and go over what happened. Hey, here's some things that I was saying that you may not have picked up on. These little minute little seeds I was planting when I first met them. And then when you saw me do the close, this is the kind of stuff I was aiming for when I was asking those questions. So coaching in real time and closing in real time is very, very important. We'll reiterate real quick. It's more important to show than to tell, right? It's what separates the sale makers from the order takers. Who is in control of the car deal? Who is in control? Is it the sales manager? Is it the salesperson? Or is it the customer? When they get to that desk and it's time to start closing deals, is the customer closing you guys, or are you closing the customer? And the way I can tell a customer is closing the salesperson is when the salesperson run ups. Hey, they don't want to be over 500 a month. If it's 510, they'll walk. They want to do it with no money down. They don't have any money, but and they want to get to these rates. That customer has closed the salesperson on the fact that if we don't get to 500, if we don't do zero down, and if we don't get this rate or better, they're going to walk. Who's closing who? Now, if you're a sales manager and you believe the customers, if you truly believe a customer has no money down, they want to be at 500 a month, shoot, I better just structure the deal to make it happen because I don't want to lose them. Guess what? The customer just closed you as a sales manager. Who is in control? Who is closing who? You have to look for those little key indicators of is your customer closing your salesperson or is your salesman closing the customer? When salespeople run back with that information, if it's 501, they're not going to take it. They only want to do 500 down. XXX, all these things that they want to do zero down, 4.99. They only want to go 72 months. If it's 501, they won't take it. That tells me that the customer closes the salesperson. As opposed to your salesperson sitting there or you sitting there as a sales manager saying, I understand you want to be at 500 bucks a month with zero down, but we're on a $45,000 vehicle. That's not going to happen. What it's really going to take is for you to bump yourself in payment and you put some money down if you want to get there. What something has to give. If you're expecting the dealership to have thousands and thousands of dollars of profit to get to your $500 a month, we're on the wrong vehicle. We need to be looking at something that's 15, $20,000 less if you want to be at 500 bucks a month. So you're going to have to give something, Mr. Customer, in order to make this deal. If you want to be at 500 bucks a month with zero money down, you have a great credit score, we need to be on a different vehicle. And guess what? You did the pull away method. All of a sudden, your customer's brain is starting to steer. Well, I was hoping to be at 500. Oh, the verbiage changed. Well, if I had to put money down, I would. But did you see what happened? You pulled the vehicle away, you closed the customer, and now who's bending? The customer is bending around you. You're the rock. And you came in with the customer and you bent the customer as opposed to the customer bending you. Well, if I don't get this 500 bucks a month with zero down, shoot, I'm gonna have to go 84 months. I'm gonna have to give them all the money. Oh my gosh, I got to give more on the trade. All right, we got you at 500 bucks a month. All right, congrats. All right, great. Your salesperson made a mini. The dealership made almost nothing. The finance guy got cut. Everyone loses when all it took was words. Separate managers versus leaders. Managers can manage things. They can manage the schedule. They can manage when you can go to lunch. They can manage this. They can manage that. Oh man, you're a great manager. There's not that many great leaders out there. This is what separates managers versus leaders. When you have the ability to go out there and close deals, get the money that's in the car deal, get that money because your salesman, when they get their voucher, will look at you as a leader, not just a manager, right? Who's in control of the car deal? You as a sales manager. Don't let the salesperson dictate the structure. If we don't do 25,000 on the trade, they're going to walk. And you appraise it at 23, all of a sudden now you're going to give up 20 or 2 grand in gross to try to hit what the salesman was sold of 25. No, here's your 23. Go out and close it. All right, boss. I'm sorry. Yeah, here. This is what the vehicle's worth, not your 25. Of course they want 25. I bet they want 30, Mr. Salesperson. Of course they want 25. I would love to give them 20, but we got to start somewhere, and the number is 23, right? You got to lead. You got to be a leader. All right. Loading your salespeople's lips. Loading your salespeople's lips with verbiages is a great thing to do. Hey, go out and tell your customers this because you're setting your salesperson up for success. But the moment you detect them in trouble, this isn't a time for them to come back and you load their lips again because you've already tried to do that. They don't have the skills you have. You need to get out there with your customer. If you've loaded the salesman's lips and they failed in that first close, or they couldn't get it done, or they couldn't overcome a certain objection, get involved early. The earlier a sales manager gets involved with a car deal, the higher the gross and the higher the close ratio. You got to get involved early. So loading your salesperson's lips is not a bad thing. However, If you're loading a salesperson's lips that isn't that great at closing or is new to the business or is struggling, all you're doing is giving them the words. You're not giving them the confidence or the attitude or the ability to go close. When you detect that with your salesperson, which I can hope you detect a salesman that's panicking, has commission breath, is struggling, or is new, you need to say, hey, let's go sit with your customer. I'm going to tell them this. I just want you to stay quiet. I'm going to load your lips with what I'm going to say, but I'm going to be the one to say it because when you sit down, and we've heard salespeople say this, I said the same thing as my manager, and my manager closed it. Well, I wonder why. It's not the title, it's how the manager said it. It's the confidence behind the words. So when you have salespeople that are struggling or new or can't seem to close a closed door, right? A shut door, then you need to get involved, load their lips, but go out there and close it. Hey, just stay quiet. Let's do this. Mr. Customer, thank you for coming in. My name's Colin, one of the sales managers here. I just want to say thank you for even being in the showroom to make an offer like this. And your offer is really not a bad offer. Unfortunately, I can't get to that offer. Let me tell you why. And I think I have a workaround around it. Right? So I shut the customer down, giving them the a praise that hey, it's a good offer. I just can't get there, and thanking them for coming in. We're coming in a positive attitude without saying no, your offer is too low or can't do it. The workaround is where sales managers get creative. I may not be able to give you another $1,000 off on the vehicle, but where I can save you way more than 1,000 is the interest rates. A lot of dealerships will give you that extra 1,000 and say a verbiage like, "Hey, I'm going to give you that 1,000, but I need you to use our financing." Well, what's that mean? It means they're going to mark up the interest rate just enough or even more to cover that 1,000 bucks they gave you. So in reality, they haven't done you any favors. If anything, they're charging you more on the backside. Whereas I don't do that, right? So I may not be able to get the $1,000 you wanted or the $2,000 you wanted, but I am not going to screw you on the rates, the payments, and the terms. So let me work on that end. And guess what? If at the end of my payments and terms and all that stuff, you don't want the car, then you can walk away. But at least let me get you the rest of the information to try to earn your business the right way and not do the crafty salesman move the P around under the cups like the other dealerships do. And that is why a lot of customers end up buying here is because we don't do that. I may not have the best price in town, but I'm going to get you the best value in town by giving you the whole package. So if you just let me do a little bit more of my job, I'm gonna make it where you're gonna want to buy the vehicle. And guess what? If you don't, there's no commitment. This doesn't cost you anything to get the free information to make that educated decision. Okay? Fair enough? All right, sounds great. The confidence is there, which gets you that credit application next, which gets you the approval next. And then your finance manager comes out or whoever ends up closing the deal, they come out and say, "Hey, I got great news. My sales manager Kyle kind of gave me an idea what was going on. You wanted that extra 1,000. I was able to save you 3,500 bucks because I was able to get you this rate and this rate. I'm going to give you this rate, but I would love to do this rate, but this rate makes us too much money, and that's the opposite of what we do here. Perception is reality. If you paint a pretty enough picture, they'll stare at it. And then when you get done and you say, "Would you like to buy this picture?" They're going to be like, "Uh-huh." Because first, they don't want to do that again. Second, you painted the beautiful picture, and then you can go with the close and say, "Hey, I hope the payment's good. I hope my sales guys are in your business. If anything, maybe you're paying a little bit more here, but man, I hope my sales guys done enough to earn your business." And a lot of times that is the final nail in the coffin. Say, "No, Mikey was great. All right, let's do it. What do you think? Yeah, all right, let's do it. All right, yeah, we'll put the 1,000 down. Yeah, we're good." But you got to do the right things leading up to that, Mr. Salesperson, so you can have your manager come in and close it. And managers, you have to have the verbiages to close those kind of deals, right? All right, moving on. How many times do you allow your salesman to go back and forth to the desk? When I was young in the car business, I went back and forth as many times as it took to make a car deal. But every time I went back, guess what was happening? Money was being lost. I knew a mini was, if I was on my third or fourth pencil, it was a mini. And minis back then in 2003 were 100 bucks. 100 bucks doesn't pay nothing then. It's not going to pay anything now. So if you're working for minis, just trying to get the unit, I'm just trying to hit my bonuses. If I get to 14 units, I'm going to make X amount of dollars. Well, what if you hit 14 units and you had 2 or 3 pounds on every car deal? Now what's your paycheck looking at? Like that's sales titan status, right? Well, as a manager, don't allow your salespeople to go back and forth a bunch of times. Get involved after the first or second time. Get involved before they even write up the deal. Hey, Mr. Customer, Bill and Melinda, appreciate you guys coming in. I'll be the one working your deal. John's going to get some basic paperwork together, and I'll get you a structure. And if I need to come out and help you with the numbers, I will. But either way, we're going to make you a great deal. All right, sounds great. Thanks, Kyle. You plant a small seed that, hey, you're the wizard behind the curtain. But get involved early. Don't, if it's a second, third, or fourth time, man, it's too many times. You're losing the customer or you're losing gross. Get involved, I would say, minimum after two times. Send the customer out with the pencil, they come back. That's number one. Send them out with a second pencil. Maybe you've adjusted a few things, small things. They come back the second time. Hey, let me get involved. Let me go out there with the same pencil, not a restructure. Let's get out there with the same pencil and structure it again. Salespeople that have confidence in their managers will follow you to the ends of the earth. If you want to be known as the greatest leader at your dealership, the greatest leader your dealership has ever seen, you got to close deals. You have to make your salespeople money. If you want to be the greatest salesman at your dealer, sales manager, if you want to be the greatest sales manager at your dealership, I'm having a hard time talking. I need more coffee. If you want to be the greatest sales manager at your dealership, then you have to close deals and make your salesmen money. They want money. They're not there to make friends. They're not there to scroll TikTok all day, even though some do. But they want to make money. And when they get their paychecks and it's five figures take home, not three figures and not four figures. Imagine taking home a $900 paycheck in today's world. That's what some people, I see paychecks. That's what some people out there message me and say, oh, great, I made this amount. Something has to give. And managers are the beginning phase of that. Something has to give because you're the leader. And salesmen will follow you to the ends of the earth, like Frodo and Samwise Gamgee, to Mount Doom or whatever it was, Mordor, and throw the ring in, right? They'll follow you to the very end because you're a leader and you've made them money and you've given them success. That's why they come to the dealership. They need leaders. There's not enough leaders in this world. There's too many breeders and not enough leaders. So be a leader for them. All right, let's break down a deal. There's a lot of sales managers out there that are listening to this, maybe new to working deals. Hold your salespeople to a high standard of when they bring you a car deal, it's clean, it's precise, they got the VIN number, things are filled out, the miles are correct. All these little things is not just to sharpen your salesperson, but these little things weigh in on the customer. When a salesperson, before the deal has ever been made, is getting current miles off the vehicle, it sounds crazy from a salesperson standpoint. Why would I get the current miles off the vehicle? It's not for you and your paperwork, it's for the customer to see. When you're out there and you get out of the test drive with your salespeople, with your customer, this is for the salespeople and this is for sales managers that are training. Tell your salespeople to get the current miles in front of the sales or the customer. After the test drive, tell the salesperson to tell the customer, "Hey, will you read me the current miles for my paperwork?" Yeah, it's 75 miles. Okay, cool. Thank you. Well, why do we need that? Oh, I want to be accurate on the DMV paperwork, right? These little micro closes. But what it's showing the customer is that you're with the right salesperson. They're getting all the right information. Oh, before we go in, can you grab the insurance card out of your glove box? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'll grab it. No problem. Is it current? Okay, perfect. Yeah, uh the bank's like current insurance cards. And then are you guys both going to be going on the paperwork? Okay, perfect. Let me have your driver's license, Melinda, and I already got yours, Bill, for the Bill and Melinda. What is that? I'm talking about the Gates. Oh my God, I need a different name. Uh, what's a good name? Chuck. We're gonna use Chuck. Chuck, you mind if you grab your insurance card and Sydney? Yeah, grab Chuck and Sydney. Grab your driver's license. I appreciate it. Thank you. I just want to be accurate for the banks and the title work. Well, we haven't said we're buying it yet. No, that's okay. I still want to be accurate. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You're assuming the sale up here, but the customer knows that you're not messing around, man. You're here to make a deal. And if they still continue to walk in, they still grab that insurance card and they still give you your license, they're telling you without telling you they want to buy the vehicle. And then when you sit down and you say, all right, what was the current miles, Mr. Customer? Even though you remembered it was 75, he says, I think it was 75. Yep, it was 75. Thank you. All right, well, insurance, boom, 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 boom. All right, let's get this file written up, right? Train your salespeople to be accurate before they ever work the deal because now when they come to you to work the deal, it's clean. Everything's clean. Is there a trade? Nope, no trade. Is there money down? Yep, they're doing 5,000 down. Man, salesman came prepared. The salesman asks all those right questions because you've trained them to ask those questions. But when a salesman has that information ahead of time, first they know what they're doing, they're being professional, but they're painting a picture with that customer that that customer is buying the car without saying the words, hey, so can we make a deal if the numbers are right? Would you like to move forward on this? Yeah, I like to think about it. Man, you just made your own objection by asking a silly question. How about we just assume the sale? Just start writing. I did that so many times in my career. All right, let me have the insurance card. You guys are going to register it in both names. Okay, perfect, perfect. Well, we haven't said we're buying it yet, Kyle. I totally understand that. No problem. All right, now how do you guys want to do the financing? Do you want to put it in his name on line one or who has a better score? I'm asking questions. I'm getting control. Yeah, we'll put, all right. Yeah, no problem. Let me get the app pulled up. Yep, yep, yep. No, no, no. This does not mean you're buying it, Mr. Customer. All this means is I'm going to get to give you the 100% correct information so you can make an educated decision if you want to buy it or not. Right? Sales managers, train your salespeople to do that kind of stuff, and you're going to sell more cars and make more money. Well, we haven't talked price. Yeah, I understand. I'll get that all printed up. Here, actually, it's 52,998. And then what I'm going to do is calculate your tax. Are you guys from the state? Okay, perfect. Yep, got the tax right here. So it looks like your out the door is going to be 62, 447.82. But don't hold me to that. Let me get the actual structure from my sales manager, right? I mean, you don't want to maybe talk about numbers before you even get the pencil, but it's the accuracy I'm talking about. It's about being accurate and taking control and assuming the sale. Well, what kind of incentives do they have? Oh, don't worry about the incentives. I will get you every single incentive I can possibly get you from the manufacturers. A lot of customers beat me up for a big old discount. I have $300 to give them, but I'm able to capture thousands from the manufacturer. So let's not beat me up on the 300 bucks I can get you. Let's beat the manufacturer up on the thousands. A lot of dealerships don't want to give it all up. They want to sandbag some. Nope, not here. So I'm going to work on that for you too. Oh, thanks, Kyle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll fill up your tank or something. Don't worry, I'll get you something. Right? But I've earned the ability to say that. So sales managers, train your salespeople, tell them to listen to the podcast and start doing that stuff. All right. So let's get back to deal breakdown. Salesman's been trained to bring you a perfect file. Boom, perfect file. Miles are good. Everything's perfect. Right? You send your salesperson back with the first pencil. Tax, everything's good. Salesman comes back, customer wants 4,000 off. 4,000 off? What in the? What do we do at this point? What do we do at this point? Weaker, not trying to bash, but weaker and untrained sales managers will start going down the discount path. I don't have 4,000 bucks. Well, I could do 3,000. Well, I could do 2,500. See if that makes a deal. It will never be enough for that customer. A customer that asks for 4,000 off on the first pencil, no matter what you give them, it will never be enough. What has to happen here is a manager needs to get involved and you need to go sit down and ask the customer, where did you get this $4,000 discount idea from? The margins in cars nowadays are so razor thin, so I'm curious, is it something that you've experienced in the past when you bought a car? Is it something that you saw advertised at another dealership? Is it something that you feel, hey, that vehicle should be discounted 4,000? Is it because you're trying to achieve a certain payment? Is it because you're trying to unbury you out of a trade-in? Help me understand where the 4,000 came from, and then I can go to work for you, but I need the information of where that came from. Well, the car's been on your lot for 90 days and 4,000 seems like a discount because it's been on the lot. Totally understand that, and I understand where your mindset is at. Totally get it. Car's been on the lot a long time. A lot of dealerships will start heavily discounting the vehicle. But just so you know, a vehicle that's been on the lot 90 days is not detrimental to us. 90 days is not detrimental. 120 days, 6 months, 7 months, a year, that's when you start seeing those discounts in the big but by the time those discounts come along, you have the weird vehicles left. You have the ones that are the funky colors. You have the ones with the bad wheels. You have the ones that have had lot damage. Uh, but let me go to work for you and see what we can do. A lot of times when people ask for $4,000, Mr. Customer, off, it's because they're trying to get to a certain payment range or they're trying to, do something along those lines or avoid down payment. Are you going to be financing the vehicle? Are you paying cash for the vehicle? Right? So let's pause. What I'm doing here is not only building rapport, but I'm trying to get an idea of where that customer came up with the 4,000 without just giving them the discount, without structuring a pencil and sending my salesperson out there with 1,000 off. No, it's not. I said 4,000. I want four, and you're just going to go back and forth, and you probably won't make the deal anyway because a lot of times those customers that throw out a crazy number want to go think about it now. So what we have to do is pinpoint the real objection. A lot of times, if we look at history, 80 to 90% of the people that visit our dealership are financing, so you can assume they want $4,000 off because they were at home on their payment calculator, and the payment they can afford is based off $4,000 off because they want tax and documents covered, right? So we have to dig for treasure and uncover it. Well, what kind of payment range were you looking at? Let's say I was able to give you 10,000 off, but the payment was too high. Well, I was hoping to be around 450 a month. Okay, so if I gave you 10,000 bucks off and you were super happy, but my payment was 800 bucks a month, could you buy the car? Well, no, because it wouldn't fit in my budget. So really the more important thing, Mr. Customer, is not the price, it's more the payment. And a lot of dealerships, shame on us for making customers think that they got to come in and go back and forth 9 times to get the deal they want. But at least you're being upfront and honest with me. So let me do this. I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. I don't have $4,000 to work with. I may not have any to work with, but what I will work with is the payment range you're trying to try to get into. Okay, so let me work on the deal as a whole. Let me look at your trade. Let me look at what down payment you have. Let me look at what incentives I can get, and then I'm going to look at the most important thing, and which is the interest rates. Dealerships that advertise $4,000 off, where's the fine print, right? It's so buried that you'll never find it. When was the last time you read your terms and agreement on your iPhone that you just bought? Never. You scroll and hit accept, right? Taking their $4,000 off is accepting the terms and agreement without reading it of where they're actually getting you. Let me be transparent and figure out where I can get you to that, if I can get you that 450. Now, if I get you to 451 and you say pound sand, I might pay your dollar a month extra, right? Now we're trying to make them laugh. But what I'm getting at is there's a conversation here and not just going back and forth from the desk. You got to make the customer work for it. Now, in the end, are we going to let the customer leave? No. We're going to make the deal one way or another. If we got to give up a little, we got to give up a little. If we got to meet in the middle, we got to meet in the middle. We're still here to sell cars. I'm not saying blow the customer out. You still got to win the war by taking the money, but we can't lose the battle and lose the war. We can't give them $4,000 off and then they leave anyway. We got to make them work for any dollar that they get, and the way we work for it is by conversation, not by hard closes. Conversate with them. Get the information out of them by being diligent and smart and creative. Deals are won by words, not dollars. Deals are won by words, not dollars. How many times do you give the fat discount and they still want to think about it? I just did what you asked. I know, but it came too easy in their head. I'll come back and ask for five next time, 5,000, because that came too easy, right? Words, conversate. Conversation is so powerful. All right, let's see if what other notes I got. We'll keep pressing forward. Oh yeah, creativity. Creativity is something I've talked about many times in the podcast. How creative are you as a sales manager? Can you think on the fly? Can you be creative? Can you backpedal when you maybe put yourself in a bad scenario and shoot, the customer caught you in this not a lie, but a scenario you're trying to set the customer up for a close. They figure it out. They say, "Well, what you said that though. If I did this, you get that." And then you got to backpedal. Those think on your feet creative sales managers are usually the best in the business because they can think on the fly. How do you learn how to think on the fly? You have to practice. You got to get with other managers. You got to get with podcasts and trainers, and you got to get with your salesperson and role play. Let's talk about payments too high. Have your salesperson be the customer and you sharpen your skills. Have your salesperson be the customer and make them sharpen your skills. And by you asking those questions and being that tough customer will sharpen your skills of, oh, shoot, I could overcome that. And then the next thing you know, the brainstorm happens. Me and a salesperson named Greg Hawk brainstorm all the time on the lot. And we're always trying to figure out better ways to get better closes. And he's a salesperson that is a genius at selling cars. He's so smart and creative, because he likes to role play. He likes to talk. He likes to conversate with me. He's one of those guys that I can go, hey, let me tell you about this close I thought of. And he's always congratulating, thinking he's like, how do you come up with this stuff, Kyle? I'm like, because I dream in the I dream car business. I've told him about dreams I've had about closes in car business and this and that. And he's just like, what the heck? But because I bounce ideas off of him, it's sharpened him over the last 6 years of him knowing him in the car business. It's sharpened him so good that he barely needs me. He'll ask for ideas, but he barely needs me to come out and close deals, and he's a darn good salesperson. But being creative and thinking on your feet is a big trait. All right. Things that you need to do in front of your salespeople, right? Make the deal. Make the car deal in front of your salesperson. Close the deal in front of your car salesperson. It creates such a leadership role in their eyes. And then when they get their voucher and it's a comma, it's 4 digits. Wow. That I want Kyle to talk to every one of my customers. And guess what? They start making customers come in. They start letting customers sit there and wait for you to come talk to them without letting them leave. They're not letting customers leave anymore because they know every time you talk to them, there's a car deal, right? You start building leadership points with your salesperson. And guess what? They want to work more car deals with you. Yeah, you're going to have to work more car deals. Yeah, as the leader, you're going to have a line in front of you. This sales manager has one person working to deal with them, and then there's you with the whole line of salespeople waiting for you because they know when they come to you, a deal will be made, money will be made. Okay? Did they learn how to say it? Not just use the words. Very, very important. It's not what you say, it's not how you load their lips, it's how it's being said. A salesperson can take the exact verbiage that you said and not close a deal. You go walk and you say the same thing and you close the deal. Why? It's not the title, it's the verbiage and how it's said. It's how you say the words. Do you have the confidence? Now, there is a thing that happens when a second person says it, there is some confirmation for the first person. So, yes, in theory, that does happen. Salesperson says something, manager comes says the same thing. There's a confirmation there. They closes the deal. Sometimes it takes two people to say the same thing. But for the most part, it's how it's said, the confidence behind it. When a salesperson learns how to be confident in closing a deal, then they start closing more deals without the manager. I've witnessed this for 24 years. It came to a point where I didn't need my managers anymore. I'd use them once in a while when it was really, really tough or they just knew something I didn't. Yeah, salesman manager would come out and close my deal. But if you're training your salespeople right, they're not going to let customers walk and there's going to be a deal every time they get to the desk because you've taught them how to be a good closer. And if they can't close it on the second pencil, then you get involved and you show them, hey, there's a reason why I'm still the big boss, big closer around here. Have a seat, stay quiet. Let me close this customer. We got to have that confidence in ourselves as managers to close the deal, right? So to recap, stop coaching from the sidelines. Get in the game. Get sharp. Get the crust off, right? Get some exercise. Get up and down. Go talk to the customers. Get involved with the sales process, and you'll start seeing more deals at your dealership. Now, what's crazy is some dealerships have 6 sales managers. They got a bunch of salespeople everywhere. Imagine if every sales manager got involved, like that one particular sales manager gets involved. The dealership could sell 15, 20, 60, 80 more cars a month just by getting involved with the same customers that are already there. We're not getting any more leads. We're not getting any more foot traffic. We're simply getting involved with those customers that are in-house as opposed to just letting them walk or not getting involved at all. And salesman doesn't even know to get you because you don't ever get up anyway. Get involved with those customers and you could turn your 85 unit dealership into a 100 unit dealership. You could turn your 150 unit dealership into 180, 190, maybe even 200. And then those high volume stores that are selling 3 to 6 or 1,000 units, man, what could they do? Could they sell 1,200 cars instead of 1,000? Could they sell 1,000 cars instead of 650 when you have the right staff there? Absolutely. Now, you as a salesperson, if you're listening to this, could you sell 15, 20, 30 cars a month? Absolutely, you can. You can rise to the occasion by learning and training. And sales managers, get involved with the deal and train your salespeople. So stop coaching from the sidelines, get involved, and go make some sales titans at that dealership and become a sales titan manager. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Kyle Galaz signing out.